I can't remember any point in my life where I went an extended period of time without having a dog in my life. Even as a very young child, some of my earliest memories were of our family's beagle Skipper. And throughout the years, like I said, I've almost always had a dog in my life. And it's probably an overused phrase, but they really do bring unconditional love into your life and companionship and joy. And fostering, I discovered, is just a great way for me to be able to pay back that love and companionship that they've given me for all those years. My name is Linda Vetter, and I've been involved with the Suffolk Humane Society since early 2007 when they officially formed. That was April of that year.
My name is Carrie Oakes. I've been fostering with Suffolk Humane Society for about 2 years. I've probably had about 4 different litters, and I get spares in between.
I'm Debbie Strickland. I've been volunteering for Suffolk Humane for about a year now.
My name is Deborah Jones, and I've been with the Suffolk Humane Society since last March when they opened the PetSmart over at Harborview. They asked if I could help volunteer up there, take care of the cats, feeding and cleaning the cages and all. And then I was asked if I could help out with some kittens, because they were getting so many kittens at the animal control. They needed help fostering them out.
I'm Alice Enan.
And I'm Miriam Enan.
This is Cecilia, and we've been doing this for about 6 months.
I've been with Suffolk Humane Society for 5 years. In the last 3 years, I'm Director of Adoptions and Fosters.
Suffolk Humane Society doesn't have our own shelter. We do have a fairly large cat foster program, so those cats are kept in home fosters until they're available for adoption at either of the 2 local PetSmarts, the one in North Suffolk and the one in Chesapeake Square on Portsmouth Boulevard. But the majority of the animals for adoption in the city of Suffolk are housed at Suffolk Animal Control, and they're located on Forest Glen Drive.
I have them from the time that they are born until till they're weaned and they're ready to go get adopted. So that can be anywhere from, I've had one for 2 weeks, I've had them up to 10 weeks.
My husband and I specialize in adopting older dogs because it is hard for them to find a home. And they're just as much fun as any puppy can be.
That's great.
I have a mother. She just had her kittens a week ago. She had 4 kittens. We lost one of them. And she also has taken in 2 orphaned kittens. Their mama cat passed away when she was delivering them.
So we have enough of our own, so this is a way to help even more, I think.
Suffolk Humane Society attacks the problem of pet overpopulation in Suffolk using a 3-pronged approach. The first is humane education, spay and neuter of the animals, the cats and dogs, and also through adoption events, trying to find new homes for the animals that have been brought into Suffolk Animal Control. The humane education, we have programs like the Books and Reading for Kids in Suffolk, and that brings therapy dogs into venues where children can come and read to the dogs in a very non-threatening setting. So if they're a little bit shy about reading in a classroom, this gives them a much more neutral environment in which to read to a very non-judgmental animal like a dog. And that's been pretty popular, and we're working on trying to get that more into the schools in the city.
I love to foster the dogs. Otherwise, if I don't foster them, they're in a shelter. They grow up in a metal cage until they're ready for a family, and their personalities don't develop as well as it would in a home. They don't know how to respond to people, and I like the satisfaction.
When you look at a dog like this, like Sam, he's 6 years old, and his family turned him in because they moved. It's tough to find a home for him, and when you do, it's so rewarding. You can almost see the gratitude, especially in older dogs' eyes, when they find that home.
It's very rewarding. It is hard to let them go, but I keep telling my children, the more kittens we can have in and help and send off to nice families, the better it is. Then you can't keep all the cats, and it's really wonderful because we get to see them at the kitten stage, which is a very fun stage.
They get to be out and meet people without being in the cages, and they can interact with other dogs, so that people, I think, that are wary of whether their animals will be comfortable with the dogs, they can bring them along.
It's just always rewarding to be here and see the cats and the dogs that get out of the shelter that otherwise would not have. The animals that are in here, the cats that are in here, belong to Suffolk Humane Society. The ones that are out at the adoption event belong to Suffolk Animal Control. That's where we partnership with them to help them find homes for the cats and dogs. So it's really good. There's a lot of people that come in here on a daily basis that wouldn't go out to animal control and necessarily be looking for a pet, but when they come in and they see one, it's just an added benefit.
A lot of people look at the puppies and think that's what they want, but Sam's past that chewing stage. He's already housebroken, and he just wants some companionship.
For the adoptions, a couple of different venues, we will have volunteers that will go to the city shelter and help out there as visitors come in looking for an animal. The volunteers can bring the animals out and answer questions and try to find the right dog or cat for that family. But then we also partner with Suffolk Animal Control to help out at the adoption events at two of the local PetSmarts. There's one in North Suffolk, and then one on Portsmouth Boulevard at Chesapeake Square. And Suffolk Animal Control can bring the animals to the events. They don't have enough people, though, to bring a lot of animals if they were doing it on their own. Whereas Suffolk Humane Society, we don't have our own shelter, so we don't have a lot of our own animals other than our cats in the foster program. But we do have a lot of volunteers that can come to those events and help handle the animals, hold the dog leashes, help people that are looking at the cats or something like that. So it's a real good partnership. And we've had a lot of success at those adoption events. We're getting a lot of animals out there in front of the public. They know that we're there on a regular basis, so they come looking for us. And we've gotten a significant number of animals in the last year adopted through those events at the local PetSmarts. We've been very fortunate in being able to partner with two of the local PetSmart stores to have our foster cats in their adoption centers. Most of these cats and kittens that are at those two stores we get from Suffolk Animal Control. Suffolk Animal Control gets a tremendous number of cats and kittens coming into their shelter every year, more than they can possibly find a home for. So by being able to pull these cats and kittens out of there, get them into home foster for a period of time, and then take them into the PetSmart stores, we're able to save their lives literally. Suffolk Animal Control would just not be able to keep them all because they just don't have the space for it. So it's a great partnership. It benefits everybody, and it gets some wonderful cats and kittens into new homes.
When you come to an event, it's a good idea. You get a lot of times you can talk to the foster parents, get to know what their personalities are like, as opposed to just getting a random dog. So you get to see what's available and learn a little bit about them.
When you're able to take them from being abandoned or turned in and find that home for them, that's a big benefit. And there's a lot of people that need that friendship, that companionship in their lives too, especially a lot of older Americans. Kids have moved away, they have that empty nest, and what better way to fill it than with a dog as wonderful as Sammy's here.
My name is Barbara Jordan, and we've come to PetSmart today to try to find a dog to adopt. And I think we found one. We wanted a little one this time because we're getting old. I didn't want a big dog around the house. We want to give a dog a forever home. We've had several rescue dogs before, and they make darn good pets. We've always had dogs, and the last dog we had to put down in October because he had cancer. Of course, he was 18 years old, and we've just missed having a dog. We've got a cat, but we've always had dogs. There's nothing like a dog for a pet.
People have a lot of opportunities if they want to adopt an animal. Common amongst those, unfortunately, are commercial pet stores and what I would term as backyard breeders, people who are breeding just for the money. The dogs and animals that come out of those situations tend to have a lot of health problems and genetic issues because people are breeding just for the money of it. They're not breeding for the betterment of the breed. So you're paying a lot of money for an animal that's probably going to have health problems, and some of them very serious health problems. Plus, they're contributing to pet overpopulation in this country. We have way more dogs and cats in this country than can find forever homes right now, and as a result, many wonderful animals are being abandoned, left to starve to death, or be hit and killed by cars, or be euthanized in shelters, and that's not fair to them. By rescuing an animal at an adoption event, you literally are saving that life, and you're not contributing to the puppy mills and the backyard breeders that are breeding indiscriminately and bringing in animals to the world that are going to have a rough time of it in many cases because of the health issues and the situations that they have been raised in. Perhaps not being properly socialized and just exposed to a very bad living environment during those very critical early weeks of their life. I really would encourage people to consider adopting. Go to your local animal shelter. Go to the adoption events that nonprofit rescues have at stores like the PetSmart where we have ours and other venues, and adopt an animal that really needs a home. You're not contributing to that pet overpopulation problem. You're helping to prevent it.